Thanks, guys. We'll see you Friday. Congratulations again to Hannah, our newest VIP. Someone's couldn't be more deserving. So I hope that little stupid diamond thing means something to you, because you mean something to us and the PCL community. So it's a silly way of saying thank you. So I hope you like it. Anyway. I can't do an after hours tonight, and I know I famously say that and then ramble on for like 3 hours, but I really can't. And then so, thanks, Stuart Hoff. You rule too. I appreciate that. TomB is God. Wow, that's high praise. Thank you. What was I gonna say? Spelling that. Was I dying when those guys said they saw the was it the gorilla or the rhino? The rhino in the hallway. Yes, yes, I was, because I just didn't. It's one of those PCL things from the gods. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. It's like from the heavens that, the Lord shines upon us sometimes. And those two guys, and by the way, I've seen those guys walk past the camera many times, and I think they know. I don't want to go as far as to say they know about the stream, but they definitely know who Perry is. So the fact that they said that instantly, I was muted the entire time, and I was, I was beside myself, as I'm sure everybody else was. I couldn't believe. Again, it's just one of those things. It's almost it's funny. I'm the one sitting here doing this, and I was just like, oh, that's just I can't believe that's they got to be plants. Like somebody paid them to walk by. You know what I mean? I start doubting things. I'm just like, no, There's no way. Like, and then when he, and I don't know if you guys could hear it because he was kind of in my ear. Like he's huffing it all the way down the hallway, and you guys couldn't hear it necessarily because I don't know what could get picked up on the ring camera. He's like, he's here. They fucking saw it. They fucking saw it. I got fucking proof. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. They just saw. They just fucking saw it. Oh my fuck. He's just, it was just perfection, absolute perfection. Really, just couldn't ask for better. Couldn't ask for better timing. I mean, you can't plan that. And I'll tell you the truth. The first time, I'll tell you how the stars were aligned for that. Because the first time I played that, the Belushi Zoo one, there was some kind of weird thing where another comment ran on top of it, and that happens sometimes, and I'll always replay when that happens. But like sometimes Streamlabs, the software, like glitches out a little bit, and that's what happened. So I tabled it. I said I would just replay the Belushi Zoo thing later in the stream. Had that glitch not happened, and it played originally in the spot that it was in, those guys would not be in the hallway, and it would not be the same thing. But when I replayed it, they were those guys walking by came by at the exact right time, and think of all the variables that make that happen. Those guys decide to walk out at the exact time I'm replaying that thing. Shit, maybe they are watching. Who knows? But we got to get those guys on the stream. And I saw Trevor in the chat earlier. I was kind of hoping he'd knock on Perry's door in a panic, but I mean, those guys really were gonna. And it's just how many weeks in a row now of great interaction. I can't. It's amazing. I fear for the time where it's not going to be that good anymore. But it just keeps. Oh. And even his thing, and I got to figure out what he's talking about with to more detail with him talking to his manager, and I'll get to the bottom of that. Because I'm sure he's the one talking about the animals, and he's misinterpreting, because there's no way the manager is saying, hey, you gotta do something about these wild animals in the hallways. But yeah, that was just amazing. That was so amazing. Rick says, I ran into one of his neighbors and she was very aware of what he was like. She said something like, that guy is weird. Stuff like this happens all the time. Yeah. Everybody on that floor knows, what the deal is. And they don't even bat an eye at this point. But yeah, so that's it. And then we'll do Friday, and then we'll take a little break. By the way, I'm sure you guys could use the break too. I'm sure it's just not Perry and I and Joey and Hero and everybody else and Garrett. I'm sure you guys could use a little break too. I know people were like messaging me like, no, please don't take a break. Have Perry do it by himself. Something like that. That's not going to happen. Does Trevor get sick of the streaming? That's a question for Trevor. Oh, I'm just reading about Hero's fucking bug bite. That sounds horrible. Went from being itchy to being bloody, then got infected. Now he's on antibiotics. That's awful. Ugh. Yeah, spare me the pictures, though. Ugh. Sounds so painful. Yes, Trevor watches PCL. Trevor is a subscriber. Not only does he watch, he's a subscriber. Trevor's been on the stream before, by the way. He was on the stream one time before. But I got some stuff planned for over the break. We'll do some stuff. I know. Did I curse? I'm sorry, Chad. Thanks for reminding me the rules of After Hours. I know. I'm trying not to swear. That's terrible. George Hoff asked if Perry can watch Bears games on Discord on Sunday. Yeah, maybe if he can figure that out, maybe. There might be some pop ups. You know what I mean? Like there could be a pop up because he is getting that Brazilian done next week, and he is doing the Spaghetti Samurai cooking with Perry segment, and that's going to be for Patreon. Well, both will be for Patreon. But there might be a little pop up stream here and there. Whatever. How long is the break? That's a good question. Well, this Friday, the 10th, is the stream before the thing, and then we're looking to be back either 2 weeks. The Friday the 24th. Friday the 24th is a lock to be back. The 24th is a lock, but it's possible we might come back on Wednesday the 22nd. I can't be certain of that yet. So either Wednesday the 22nd. Wednesday the 22nd would be the earliest. But then again, I might feel up to it and do a surprise like Mobile Monday on the 20th, let's say. I'm not guaranteeing that right now. But thanks. TomB, got to go. Have a fast recovery. Get well. Thank you, Frank. Really appreciate that. That's what I'm looking for. So I have ideas, can he wear a headband for a Spaghetti Samurai Chuck Norris style? That's a great idea, Hannah. And I think we can make that happen. In fact, I'm going to write that down in my little notebook because that's such a good idea. I like that. The headband. This segment of After Hours is brought to you by Kia. At Kia, we hope not to leave you stranded. I like that. I've been looking at Kias. I've also been looking at Volkswagen because I got a good friend that works for a Volkswagen. That's why I mentioned Volkswagen, by the way, because a good friend actually works at Volkswagen and probably enjoys the stupid plugs. But those are the two cars I've been looking at because I desperately need one this fall at some point. Robert says, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself during hiatus. We'll find other things. Look, you don't want to be gone too long. You don't want to be gone too long where, like, your audience finds other things to do. You want to make them miss it, and come back, But whatever. Look, here's the deal. We've been going pretty hard. 3 streams a week. And pretty long streams too. This was since early March, maybe even late February, and that was Twitch again, who still hasn't given us partnership. We're still in review. It's now we're almost over a month in this latest phase of review. So I'm hoping I hear something soon from that. But we've been going hard, 3 days a week, without fail, without missing a beat since I think February. That's a lot. And everybody needs a little bit of a break, recharge your batteries a little bit. Don't want to pry, but am I having a health issue? No, I'm just getting something taken care of. It's not, I don't have, there's nothing like in my day-to-day life where I'm having detrimental health things. I had a little scare a couple of years ago, and this is kind of like a preemptive thing on top of that. Other plans for a bathroom cam installation? No. The one you see now is as close as we're going to get. In fact, speaking of, okay, no, it's off. Even machines break down, that's true. But yeah, we'll have stuff to fill in the gaps. Am I getting penis reduction surgery? No. No, it's nothing. It's nothing below the belt. Oh, Paul Morris? He said, "Did I fire up the Bartesian?" No, not yet. It's still in the box. I haven't done it yet. I got to get more pods for it. I got like a sampler pod, but I got to get more pod. I still can't believe they don't have a vodka martini pod for the Bartesian. Really annoying. They have the gin martini, and then I would assume that you could use the gin martini to swap it with vodka, but apparently you can't do that. That's the one cocktail I was actually looking forward to at home because I'm so lazy with making cocktails. But I'm gonna try a whiskey sour and an old fashioned at some point. Can we get some of the streams on YouTube to hold us over? Yes, I am going to get. Here's the thing: the next stream in line to get put up on YouTube was a bitch, but I think it's just about done. And again, it's finding the time to do it. But it's the Amy takeover stream, which is not the Hot Amy live stream. It's the stream where there was that little glitch and Amy started to take it over towards the end. It was on a subscriber Sunday. That's the next one to go up on YouTube, and that'll be very soon. The one after that is the Hot Amy live stream, which I know a lot of people have been asking about. Um, and I was thinking of making that like a premiere on YouTube, like where everybody, maybe next week sometime people can just watch it or something. You know what I mean? Like one of those things where there's a set time where it starts at, because a lot of people like miss that live and are not on Patreon and haven't been able to see it. So I might do. I might do that for that as like a holdover, you know. Maybe we can do some cooking with Perry segments. He goes to the nearby skateboard park and ride. We're gonna do the spaghetti samurai. I don't know what else we're gonna do. Um, but there might be some pop. It's like I'd like to do one of the things where like maybe on a Saturday, like Perry like watches like we watch a movie with Perry, because with Amazon Prime Video, you can pretty much play anything in that catalog on Twitch, and it would work, you know. So maybe something like that. Oh, you're gonna if you like to watch Perry cook, you're gonna like, because I think he's gonna do the spaghetti samurai right after his waxing job. So that should go interesting. Although Garrett had requested he would do the cooking segment first and then the waxing, but I thought the waxing then the cooking would probably be better. But that's the thing. Do I think he forgot about the sodas on the AC unit? Absolutely. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Tim asks, "What's Neil Sedaka's best song?" Um, phew, that's a good question. Probably "Breaking Up" is hard to do. Oh, General Ditwad. Yeah, I was gonna message you, and I was actually gonna mention it. Thank you for reminding me. Did you get the hoot? Did I get the Hooter stuff I sent? Yes, I did, and thank you. General Ditwad sent this really great vintagey looking Hooters shirt. I actually am wearing it right now to satisfy Faster Blade's usual question. Yes, I did, and I'm gonna write you on Messenger. I just ran out of time. Yeah, I opened it today, but I guess it came yesterday, and the other shirt too. Phenomenal hit, and thank you very much. Really great and super cool of you to do that. Thank you. Yes, I did get it. it was exciting. I always love getting things in the mail. I didn't know what it was either. It was like soft. I was like, what could you know? Because normally you get stuff in the mail. It's like Amazon. You kind of know what you ordered. Like, oh, okay, this is that SD card I ordered, or this is that lighting thing I ordered, or whatever. But to open something and you kind of forget, and then you see it, it definitely made me happy to get that in the mail. Absolutely, I appreciate that. Thank you. Super cool of you. So yeah, and forgive me for not writing. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna write you formally. But yeah, and the other shirt was a phenomenal hit as well. Phenomenal, really great stuff. And really, I love the shirt too. It's like nice and soft. It's like the exact kind of shirt I want for PCL merch. Rick says, "How does Perry think the Brazilian has anything to do with his chest?" Yeah, he's in for a rude awakening, especially when he sees who's coming over to do it. I don't want to give that away, but he'll. Yeah, that should be interesting. Yeah, so there'll be some stuff to fill the gaps. Is anybody here? I know like everybody says they're gonna miss this. Is anybody here actually looking forward to like a little bit of a break? Like maybe you'll get to catch up on some streams, and maybe it's like I know Joey and Hero and Garrett are probably looking forward to it, but they that's different. Is anybody like who watches the stream already? Anybody like saying like you know what, I can kind of go for a little bit of a break. I can kind of just go for a little PCL, vacation for a week or so. It's not the Nicholas brothers. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Yeah, Jordan Hoff is excited for the break. Okay, cool. Yeah, like maybe catch up on a book. I don't know. Maybe there's other things. But yeah, I think we could all go for a recharge every now and then. Keep things fresh. My budget is looking forward to it, I bet. I could do 1 week best. Okay, well, I'm gonna try. Like the thing I was thinking of, um, is maybe do a subscriber Sunday this Sunday. But I just feel like if Friday's really strong, I'd rather go out strong than go out on a. But whatever, I'll play it. I'm pretty committed to breaking on Friday. I'm also pretty committed to having a Sunday not doing anything for a change. I just don't want Perry to get too, you know, like fall out of this schedule because he's been very good. I will say, like we have a little schedule. We check in with each other on stream days, and he charges everything. He's like, I'm charging the Jambox, I'm charging my Bluetooth, I'm charging all my phones, all these little pre-checks that he's into, and I don't want to miss the beats of all that. So, Omega Cloud, not at all. I'm dreading it. I'm sorry. Yeah, and like you said, like he was wiped after TomB week, and so was I. And actually, my biggest regret, not my biggest regret, I got bigger regrets, but I will say a small regret I have is not taking a week off after TomB week because and again, it goes back to the Twitch overlords because I think at that point we were under review and we didn't get partnership back then. But I had this workhorse thing. Like, no, we got to keep to the schedule. So after that Sunday last TomB week, where it was crazy, where Tony Hawk and everybody was in there, I and even after my laptop was trashed, I made sure to do the next stream, which was Wednesday, from San Diego, from Robert's house where I was staying and kind of detoxing and. Robert can attest to that. He's in the chat. He's at Alice the Cat in the chat. I was laid out on Monday. Like, we drove to San Diego after Sunday, and I was laid out, absolutely laid out. on Monday. I was like in bed for like, I just had been in the apartment. The whole week kind of caught up with me, and I was just completely out of it. I only came around like midway through Tuesday, and then I was planning like, oh, we got to do a stream on Wednesday, and I regret doing that. I think I should have taken that full week off. We all should have, just to kind of go out on that high, and all that. And yeah, Robert says I should have taken the full week off to recoup in San Diego. I agree. I completely agree. Completely agree. So again, if I had to do that again, I would do it differently. I got to plug this in. It's going to make a little noise. But yeah, that's what I think. Hangry Klinger says, I just found out about Perry this week, so no, I'm just getting involved. Well, that's awesome. Were you one of the people that were watching on the YouTube replay from Sunday? Because I know we got a lot of new people from that. How did you find, if you don't mind me asking you, Hangry Klingus, how did you find Perry if you just found him this week? I'm sorry to do that for you. Pool parties are allowed. Yeah, Robert has the best pool parties. I know. Well, the next trip, which could be, I don't know if I'm coming out in October or November or something like that, we'll do it a little differently. Hannah says it's comic relief in our life, so no. Okay, well, look, like I said, I'll have other content pumping out in some form or another. Like, it's funny because I was supposed to go, not I was supposed to, but a friend of mine wanted me to go to Atlantic City to go see Guns N' Roses this Saturday. And then I'd come back and do the stream on Sunday. I'm not doing the stream on Sunday now, but we're not doing it, I should say. But I said no to it because, number one, the tickets for that are extortionately high, and it's just I'm not doing that. And number two, staying in Atlantic City on Saturday is high. And number three, not to sound like a big P word, but I don't know if I want to be in a crowded concert on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. That's kind of freaking me out a little bit. So I'm just gonna have a regular week, and that's when originally, I think last week I said, oh, we might do an early stream on Friday. I was gonna do that to accommodate that, but we're not gonna do it. It's gonna be regular time Friday. Tom, can you have Perry bring the jam box when he goes to Denny's next? No. You know what I'm looking at, and I keep forgetting to pull the trigger on it. I want to get Perry when he goes mobile, like goes out. I want him to get him one of those side like slings, like on like a Velcro thing that goes around his body, his body, and then clamp on a microphone. He needs a better microphone, and he has one. Somebody sent one for. Mailbag Friday a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. It was unbearable trying to set it up with Perry Tech Time, the Bluetooth microphone, and it's just God, I have such few hours without hearing Perry's voice in my head that the thought of calling him willingly to set up something technical is just, it's just. I really got to sit down with a stiff drink to get myself into it. So I'm going to try to set up that Bluetooth microphone thing because I think that'll sound a lot better, and it'll be clipped onto his chest, so it'll sound great. And so the other thing I want to get there is one of those little circle Bluetooth, like small Bluetooth speakers that can be on his body that'll sync to the phone. So yeah, so he can hear the stuff better. So yes, a little small Bluetooth speaker that he can carry around with him. So that's what I'm looking for. So he's like a full mobile rig, and we're almost there, but we're not quite there. Somebody reminded me how I ripped Perry's Kia handle off his door. Yeah, that's true. Perry's gonna miss doing this as much as he claims to hate it, says Jimmy Jonestown. I agree with that actually. He will miss it. And that's why I think you can guarantee a pop up stream. And I like the idea of a pop up stream. Like no one like not really announcing it. We're just gonna if you follow it on Twitter, Twitch, you're gonna get the notification and he'll just pop up. Boom. Here it is, pop up stream. And then maybe it's a mobile Monday, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just something small. Maybe it's like right after his post Brazilian. R.I.P. Raj. Wear a mask, please. We need you. I wore a mask there last time, and but it was also it was summer. It was really hot in there last time I was in there. Hojo Sinclair says, TomB, speaking of newbies, something I've wondered hypothetically. Say, PewDiePie or someone comes across Perry clip and plays it for millions. All of a sudden, you have an influx of thousands of viewers. How do you think that would change the dynamics of the stream? Not that much, honestly. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's just the nature of it. We are getting a lot more people to this. A lot more people. A lot of new people recently. A lot of new people over the summer, and going into the fall, there's gonna be even more new people. Once that Adult Swim show comes out, there's gonna be more new people. They're gonna push him on social media a little bit when that episode comes out, and I hope everybody here and us will write to them and say, tag and everything. I'm sure Garrett's going to be great at that. So there is going to come a point where there's thousands of people. It just is. Now, is it going to be more than that? I don't know, but there is going to be a build at some point, and I don't think it'll change it all that much. I think the chat will move a little faster. The crowdsourcing might get a little different, for things, but things will evolve, and we'll have different segments, and we'll go with the flow. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Dominic Monaghan doing the Brazilian? No, absolutely not. No. Henry Kungas, I watched Windy City Heat a few days later. Oh, after you first saw Perry? And in my opinion, these streams are so much better than that movie and Big 3 stuff I've seen. Well, thank you. That's a really nice compliment. Just hang out, just watch. All you really got to do is watch the streams, and you'll get a hang of things. You don't really need to go anywhere else, in my opinion. I think you'll get the general hang of it. I have there's all the older streams, all the more current older streams are on Patreon, but I'm working on getting them on YouTube. So I know the YouTube channel's kind of got tumbleweeds in it now, but that's one of my goals for the fall is to get that up and running, get some clips on there and stuff. Dustin, have a good night, everyone. Good night, Dustin. Thank you. Always like a new fan participating. It's great. There's a lot of new people. A lot of new people though, they turn into lurkers. Unfortunately. Faster by Tom, can I have Perry on my stream during the break? No, Perry's not doing any publicity right now. Imagine Eric Andre's audience would be fans of this. Yeah, I mean, look, that's all it's going to take, really, is somebody, like, doing something, like streaming it, showing a clip, and yeah. And that's what sucks about YouTube. That's why I'm so down on YouTube, is they don't push anything in the out. Like, YouTube very rarely pulls in new people the way Twitch does. Because it doesn't get in that algorithm. And, they had some survey out for YouTube creators recently. And, I answered it on Perry's behalf because I upload to the channel. And, I was very straight up. He's like, oh, are you happy? How do you compare Twitch to YouTube? I said, YouTube kind of sucks. As a creator, not as a viewer. As a viewer, I watch YouTube all the time. But as a creator, it's like my thing is every video, every stream we upload gets demonetized. And it's because of language. And there should be some kind of platform where you can have, foul language on YouTube, and just gear different advertisers towards it. Your man groomers and your more adult advertisers. They're too lazy to segment their advertisers, is what's really happening. They just have a bundle of their advertisers that go to every stream and every streamer, every content creator, every video. And what you really need to do is break that up. Okay, I'm not expecting to get McDonald's, advertising on here, but you can pick and choose. Ask your advertisers as YouTube. By the way, or someone, or this is what's going to happen. Someone else is going to come along and do it better at some point. Okay, someone else. Don't get too high and mighty and think that this is the only platform. The same goes for Twitch. Somebody else might come along and do it better, and then everyone goes over there. But yeah, and Rick says, yeah, the thing that was shown on the stream tonight of Rick in the hospital, that was blocked on YouTube for no reason. And it's like, well, listen, get your stuff together. You know what? There's a lot of content people out there, and not everybody does the same thing. They're geared towards children's programming. If you're a guy like Blippi, who does children's programming for toddlers, he's raking it in because there's no problem there. But if you have any kind of content that's the least bit, risque or whatever, they're just going to slam you, and they're not going to push you, and they're not going to, push your videos out to a new audience, and they're not going to give you advertising or any of that. It's crazy. It's really annoying, and it's just like, hey, just give us, just for people that have, quote unquote naughty language on their streams or their videos or whatever, just segment a bunch of advertisers that are more than willing to advertise on adult content streams. That's it. It's a very easy solution to me. You hate Blippi? I hate Blippi too. Believe me, I've been subjected to Blippi quite a bit in my situation. Blippi is this. If you want to torture yourself, go look up Blippi. 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 There's now another Blippi, though. Have you noticed that for people to watch Blippi, or for people who have kids who watch Blippi, there's another guy playing Blippi. There's like a different Blippi. There's like a fake Blippi, and I actually like him better than the real Blippi. He's not as annoying. I think that's the Blippi that tours, because the real Blippi won't tour. We can go on. We can do a whole Blippi chat another time. But God, I can't stand him. Teddy loves Blippi. Can't stop watching it. There's a certain point now, like I've seen so many of them that I have to pick a favorite Blippi, and I'm like, all right, can we do the one where he goes to the water park? I can at least stomach that one. Blippi is this guy. He basically tries to do what he tries to, and he's smart. He does a kids show. He's not a show. He just does. It's a YouTube channel for kids, and it Blippi, and he's basically a combination of Pee Wee Herman and Mr. Rogers, but he has the talent and care of neither one. He doesn't give any real less. Like they say, like he's got this theme song that says, "Hey, there's so much to learn about. It'll make you want to shout." You don't learn anything as a kid watching these videos, and what he does is he just goes into a place. He doesn't even rehearse really. And he's like, hey, it's me, Blippi. Oh, we're going to go to a chocolate factory and see how chocolate's made. And he's like, oh, what's this? Whereas when Mr. Rogers did those kind of things where he toured a factory, you learned something about it. Or even Pee-wee, when he was in his playhouse, something like that. There was some kind of overall theme there. There's none of that here. Like, to be perfect example is the pandemic, right? The pandemic's been going on for almost 2 years now, a year and a half, right? And you would figure the one thing that little kids would need to know about is what's going on with this pandemic. Why do we have to wear masks all of a sudden? Going back to last March, why are we not able to go to school? Why are we not able to see my friends or whatever? And you would think this Blippi would do one video about the pandemic, like, hey kids, it's kind of scary out there, that's why we got to wear these masks and stuff like that. Nothing, not a one. And here's a guy that's like talking to your kids every day and like doing this content for kids and everything like that. But it's so strange to me because he still does videos, but it's like it never happened. It's like, well, there's this major thing going on. If Mr. Rogers was still around, he'd be doing an entire season on it. he'd be doing episodes on like, hey, explaining to kids like what's going on, what why is this place I like to go to closed or something like that. Okay, well here's Blippi to explain it to you, and it's infuriating that the guy who does Blippi doesn't do that. Blippi is a ripoff of UHF Stanley Spadowski. Yeah, here I'd agree. Yeah, I would show an example of him, but I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Cha Cha says Blippi is awesome. Garbage trucks. I know. I got that stupid garbage truck song in my head. There's this guy that used to be the musician on his show, on his YouTube videos, and he doesn't go on the thing anymore. But he had this guy that played guitar, and he did all these very simple songs, and he has this song with like, it just is like, garbage trucks, garbage truck, I wish I was a garbage truck, and it goes on and on. That's the whole song. It just gets repeated over and over, and it gets stuck in your head. Oh man, I can go on and on about Blippi. And then so last year, before not last year, almost 2 years ago, before the pandemic, Blippi was going to do this live tour, right? If we're going to get into this Blippi stuff, and he pulled a Blippi scam. He pulled a Blippi scam because he was going to do this live tour, right? And again, licensed to print money. All your kids are going to go see Blippi, and of course he charges a premium. Okay, get your kids in to see a live Blippi show, but okay, you could see the guy that you see on your TV in person. That's a big deal. I remember when I was a kid, there was a show called The Magic Garden on local WPIX Channel 11 here in the A's. And my mom took me to see them live, me and my sister, and it was an extraordinary experience. But so this guy is going to do a tour, and then there's a bonus. There's a VIP. You could go backstage and do a meet and greet with Blippi before the show. Only caveat is you charge full price. It's not the real Blippi. It's this other guy pretending to be Blippi. The real Blippi that does the videos is not going on tour. And there was this whole outcry. And he was in very, very fine print on the website. Like, Blippi will be performed by somebody else. Like, little small print. And everybody, like, all these parents, like, raised an uproar about it. Like, oh, my God. You're gonna, again, so he had to come out and make this whole statement like, hey, Blippi is a character I created, and it's been my dream to let other people play the character, and I have stage fright, and I'm too busy with my Blippi videos to go on the road. So they had this fake Blippi guy who now does the Blippi episodes. If you go on the Blippi channel, there's this other guy that plays Blippi, and I've actually cued Teddy's 3 years old, and I've actually said to him, I was like, we'll be watching it together. And Teddy's my girlfriend's 3-year-old, by the way. So he's the one who calls Wario Perry Mario. But we'll be watching Blippi, and I was like, "Is that Blippi?" He's like, "Yeah." And I look at him like, "You really think that's Blippi?" He's like, "Yeah, that's Blippi." And I'm like, "Okay," but it's this totally other guy. He looks nothing like the real Blippi, but they're dressed in the same outfit. So anyway, they're putting this new guy onto the streams. I call them streams, but whatever his thing is, they're now occasionally putting this new guy in to do videos, like the water park video. That's the fake Blippi. But I think they're doing that because they're going to do the tour again, and now they want kids to have seen the fake Blippi on video, which they have, and they could do it. Anyway, I know. Nobody has. I didn't know who Blippi was until, I got in the situation I'm in. But, all of a sudden, it's like Sam Jackson in a Blippi costume. Yeah. Anyway, that's my Blippi diversion for the night. If you have kids in your life, like nephews or whatever, and they're like under 5, you probably know who Blippi is. Hangry Kunga says kids should not be allowed to watch YouTube, in my opinion. Nobody. Well, look, in my situation, he doesn't watch YouTube. I select what's on YouTube. He's too young. He doesn't know how to do the remote or anything like that. So I'll put YouTube on. I think YouTube is actually great for kids. There's a lot of cool stuff on YouTube for kids. Like he likes watching like other kids like opening toys or like train videos, like a toy train videos, stuff like that. Yeah, I was thinking of even Blippi for Halloween. I don't do a Halloween as an adult, but hey, Faster Blade. Remember when TomB said he can't do a post stream tonight? Well, I'm not gonna do a long one. Okay, I'll say that one. It's not gonna be a long one. Whatever. I'm such an asshole. Rick says, I remember seeing Sesame Street live. I didn't know they still did that. Yeah, I saw Sesame Street live too, and Matt Ryan says Magic Garden was trippy as fuck. I love Magic Garden. Magic Garden, I absolutely worshipped at the temple of Magic Garden, which I don't think too many people know outside of the New York area. It was such a local show. Oh, here says Matrix 4 trailer is coming out tomorrow. I still don't give a shit about Matrix 4. I really don't. And I don't. And are they gonna like? Are they gonna pretend those other movies didn't happen? And also I think that's lame too. When you ignore if you ignore the other sequels. Oh, Rick said it for me. Are they ignoring the sequels or continuation of that garbage? Yeah, the first Matrix is great, but oh, you saw Bozo live. That's pretty cool. You were on the show. That's about as prominent as you can get with kids programming. Yeah, see, if I'm Blippi for Halloween, that'll be interesting. Because I have this running joke with Teddy where I tell him, like, hey, Teddy, you know what? I got something to tell you. And he's looking at me. I was like, I'm Blippi. That's me. On the screen, that's me. I do that in my spare time. And I said, when I was out in California, he's like, that's what I did. I did that. He's like, and he gets all, he's like, no, you're not. You're not Blippi. And I was like, no, I am. Ask me anything. That's me. I'm right there on the screen. That's me. I'm Blippi. And I'll do the voice or whatever. I'll do like I'll say something that Blippi says, and he'll like look at me weird. Just you gotta entertain yourself somehow. I went John Wick 4, not Matrix 4. I agree with you. I'm all over. I love the John Wick movies. I'm all over a John Wick 4. Yeah, but ignoring sequels has become this trend, and it's just horror can get away with it. I think horror is the only genre that can get away with ignoring sequels, but even that gets annoying. It just gets annoying. Faster Blade saw Carmen Sandiego live. What else did I see? I saw, oh God, I saw Flintstones on ice, like Ice Capades with the Flintstones, because they would run these commercials incessantly in the 80s. And me and my sister like begged our parents to go take us to see it. And they finally gave in, and it was playing at like, the Felt Forum at the time, which was inside Madison Square Garden. It still is. It's just called something else. And boy, was this thing a piece of shit. It was fucking horrible. And we both kind of looked at each other. My sister and I were like, how do we admit? Because our parents were like, they were just, I feel so bad for them now as an adult, but they were just like, they were so like staring at us like, are you enjoying this? And we be lying like, yeah. And then every now and again, it would be like, I don't know, some famous ice skaters, and then occasionally you'd see somebody dressed as like Hanna-Barbera characters, like Yogi Bear, like Fred Flintstone. They come out in the ice like for 2 seconds, and then it'd be some other ice show, and then I just had to take the bullet, and I just looked at my dad. I was like, all right, can we go now? This is really bad. And saying that like confirmed for my parents that they were right all along, and we should never have gone to this thing. But also gave this, I knew it was going to be a major demerit that I wasn't going to get over anytime soon. Like, okay, well, this was your thing, don't ask me to do anything anytime soon, because this was this cost money, and this was a disaster, and I knew it. And we left early, and the whole ride home, we were just like listening to my parents saying, we told you that was going to be junk. I don't know why we had to drive all the way into the city and spend all that money, and you could have just stayed at home. Like, yeah, we know, I know. You're right. I'm wrong. Blippi poop video for anybody who wants to ruin that. Yeah, I remember, I've never seen that, but I've read about that. Also, there's this other subculture of like housewives and like single moms that have a thing for Blippi, like a Blippi fetish, if you will. And there's a whole I think it's on. I think there's a subreddit called Blippi After Dark that just like tries to follow the real guy, and like is it because they think he's a hunk, like the actual guy who plays Blippi. I've not gone down that rabbit hole, but I am genuinely fascinated by Blippi. I am fascinated by him. Yeah. I mean, I friggin' seen him enough. But yeah, I think he's a complete waste of time. We always saw Snoopy and Charlie Brown Ice shows because that's where I grew up. Those were always around too. Those were always around too. The Snoopy and I didn't see any of those, but those were always advertised too, in New York. That was another big one. Matt Ryan, sorry Tom B, I confused the Magic Garden Kid Show with In the Night Garden Show. In the Night Garden was like a really bad Muppets acid trip. Okay, yeah, there was no, yeah, it wasn't like that. Remember when all the shows used to be Sesame Street on Ice? I remember there was so many bad ice shows. There was still a slang saying in the 80s that a show or that brand stinks on ice. That is very true. That's a great point, Paul. That is so true. That's that's kind of where that phrase comes from. Is that everything was on ice. It's like, hey, if you want to, like, there's some promoter that put that together, like, oh, hey, kids love this. Hey, kids kids love so and so. Let's put a show on ice. For some reason, ice skating was a thing. Yeah, it was like the thing that they thought kids loved. It was so weird. I think Death to Smoochie was making fun of those bad shows. I've never seen that movie. I don't even know what it's about. But yeah, who is the one? Who is that famous ice skater in like the late '70s, early '80s? I can't. Dorothy Hamilton, maybe. She was in all of those ice shows. And now here, say hello to and she'd skate around. And what they do for these ice shows is it would be Sesame Street. Like Sesame Street was notorious. They would have a new show every season, and this would be like Bert and Ernie or something like that. And they'd come up with some plot. So it would be these giant Muppets on ice that looked nothing like really Bert and Ernie would. Like the proportions were all weird, and they'd just be skating around, and you would hear the voices played through the PA. And even as a kid, I know, like I've always looked at like how they do these things behind the scenes, and like, okay, so they got the real people doing the voices. Like I didn't think they were really there. I didn't think like Frank Oz was like fucking sitting behind the ice with a little microphone. Like, so there are these pre-recorded bits that they do as Bert and Ernie and whoever else. And by the way, Oscar the Grouch was on ice too. He had ice skates underneath the trash can, which makes no sense. And I never got the understand of how the trash can worked. Oscar's trash can's kind of like some kind of Harry Potter thing where he has this crazy amount of space in it, but then sometimes he can put his feet through it. That doesn't make any. I'm just thinking of the physics of Oscar the Grouch's trash can. But anyway, Nancy Kerrigan was another one, but she came much later. They would do these things of the ice thing, and then as a kid you kind of wouldn't buy into it. And then but the bits would always be like, you'll see the Peanuts gang or whoever, the Flintstones or whatever you can think of that was popular at the time. Smurfs were on ice. I remember Smurfs on ice being advertised because that was big with kids, and I didn't see that. And then you'd see a little bit of the Smurfs or whatever, and then they would go off, and then you would just see like professional ice skaters doing like things like ice skating things, and it was so boring to kids, but it was just like that was like the main show was the ice skaters, and then in between ice skating sets, if you will, they'd bring out like the characters you actually want to see. Perry is basically Oscar the Grouch in a way, yes. That's probably true. When do we get paired? We should do PCL on ice. Yeah, let's map out how that would work. I want a Dizak segment. I want a Stormcock segment. I want like all these like and here he is. It's Dizak, and Dizak comes out with like a bag of like food or something, like an egg McMuffin or something, whatever he's getting. The Blippi poop video is awful. What's wrong with people? All right, so now you're gonna make me see it. Make me watch it. I'm not watching it. I've seen enough poop tonight. We should get Perry to an ice rink, and then have random people check his ass into the wall. Oh, poor Perry. DSP segment, that would be good. Yeah, you'd have to figure out, like, I'm sure you can go on YouTube. Somebody must have an original like ice show, like recorded, like how they used to be. Because I'm just going from sheer memory, but they were so shitty, and you could actually block out what a PCL ice show would be. And it says at some point we all started thinking about the physics of the Oscar trash can. I think I thought, yeah, I think I remember like there was a Christmas episode of Sesame Street. I'm like, hey, what's the deal? What's the deal? Tom, Death to Smoochie is an excellent dark comedy. Ed Norton and Robin Williams are the Blippi type characters, and they hate each other. That's interesting. I really like Ed Norton. Tom is Big Bird. Trevor is Snuffleupagus. Cousin Mark is the Count. That's funny. And then we'll have to get some animals on ice, like the zebra, the rhinoceros, like walking by, and then there'll be a period where and here's all the animals. There'll be like elephants or whatever, any kind of animal you could think of, and a real guy dressed as a zebra. Well, they'd all be guys dressed as something, but some of the animals will look more convincing. And then all of a sudden you get the Perry ice skater coming out, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Somebody told me there was animals on this ice. And then he comes out and does his little solo. And then all the animals have scurried around. And then there'll be like some neighbors walking by. Did you see a gorilla or a bear? Yeah, they went that way. And he skates over that way. And then the animals come back out when he's gone. And then they scurry away when he comes back. Writes itself, really. It can be a really long show, too. Like 5 hours with intermission. And then we have the delivery drivers on skates too. Oh, here's another delivery. And then somebody skates over with a bag of McDonald's. Leave it at the door, please. Tim says Snuffleupagus was a really good character. Only Big Bird ever saw him. Yeah. Do you know on Sesame Street now? At some point, this might have happened a long time ago. Everybody can see Snuffleupagus now. I thought it was always better when only Big Bird can see him, but now everybody can see him. Shop vac on ice. I like that. Trash can is like the Keebler treehouse. They barely stick to their head. Out of the window, and then there's a whole goddamn cookie factory in there. Yeah, exactly. What's the it's got to be magic involved. Love Ricky Horny on ice solo to the song, and then eventually Perry comes out on ice and chases him. Weezy Jefferson, I missed the end of the stream. Please tell me there was an earthquake and all the drinks fell. No, but I liked the part where somebody wrote in that there was an earthquake and it mainly went over his head, and then he starts darting his eyes over the drinks. He's like, if there's gonna be an earthquake, I gotta take these drinks down now. He starts like taking them down. Has any other character actually gone into Oscar's trash can? This is what I don't like about modern Sesame Street. By the way, Sesame Street's still pretty good, but they have characters on there that are like, they have this one character on Sesame Street. It's been around for a while, I guess, probably like 15 years or so. I remember my niece, who's 9, she's 10 now. She was into this character. There's a character named Abby on Sesame Street who's like does magic, like she has a magic wand. And I don't like that because it's just like it's very easy out. Like she can just wave her wand and make anything happen. I don't like that. I figured all the traditional Sesame Street characters always had their own little quirks and pros and cons, but flat out magic to me is a bit much with a Sesame Street character. So that's my review of modern Sesame Street. Other than that, there's some other good stuff. You see Bert and Ernie once in a while, but they're like pushed so far in the background. The forefront is mainly like characters you've never heard of. A is for Abby. Yeah, I've done through that thing. B is for Bert. I can go through the whole thing. C is for Cookie Monster. I've seen the count though on a couple of ones I've seen recently, which is good to see the count back. And then the magician guy, I forget his name. You love to see Perry on skates. I'll tell you what, Perry on rollerblades was really not bad. He was pretty good. He was much better than I thought he was going to do. I actually have some Sesame Street records, like actual records, that I found recently, and I don't know what to do with them. Mike Majestic, no, he wasn't. I forget they it's not the Count, but it's the guy that used to say "a la peanut butter sandwiches" with his magic wand. I just can't think of his name. He was very infrequently used. No after hours tonight, says Tom B. I know. Well, how long we been doing this? Fuck, I know. You know what it is? Here's the thing with the after hours thing. It's like when the stream closes, right? This is what I was legitimately gonna let the stream end there and just sign off, but then people would probably get mad. Oh, where's Tom or whatever? And then I pop back on and say thanks guys, da da da, and do a quick wrap. But it's like, well, shit. It's just then you're off to the races. I know. I know. I'm a terrible human being. Don't look at the clock. I know. 6 hours and 30 minutes though. It's not like Sunday. Sunday was the world record, and I don't know about anybody else, and I know Joey felt it. The next day, I was wrecked on Monday. Absolutely wrecked. Like Monday was just a lost day. Like I got very little work done on Monday. I was absolutely wrecked from doing that. What was how long was that one? Was it like 12 hours or something? It's crazy. Might as well do a Thursday stream. Yeah, I agree. Sunday was really good. Sunday was a really strong stream, unexpectedly, because I thought it would be quiet for a Memorial, not Memorial Day, Labor Day weekend. The Sunday before. I figured most people, a lot of regulars were not around, but boy, that thing kept picking up steam and picking up steam, and yeah, it was like I think it was 12 and a half hours. I think it was 12 and a half hours. Definitely the record for the longest stream. Including after hours. But most of it was with Perry. I think there was only 3 hours of after hours. Can I post links to the media share after the stream? You know what? They kind of disappear for me. If people want to post those on their own, like in Discord, they can. Like I'm looking at it now. I only have like the last couple of batches. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. It was weird to see the Dizak one tonight. I will say that was strange. Yeah, I'm going through the list now. Yeah, I can only go back a certain amount. Um, they go into, so basically there's a tab that says like current and then previous, and you go in the previous. Like I can go back as far as the Belushi Zushi one, but not past that. You know what I mean? So like by Friday, like none of these will be available. Like for some reason, it's just like I could replay the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like the past 20 or so. Anything deeper than that gets erased. Hangry Klingus wants to know how do you get in Discord, and Joey Bags right there with that link. Yeah, definitely get involved in Discord. If especially if you're a new fan, get involved in Discord. And if you have Facebook, I know a lot of people are anti-Facebook, including myself. Get in the Perry Caravello Live Facebook group because a lot of things go down in there. But if you're in Discord, that's where a lot of the community is. And if you don't know what Discord is, I didn't know what Discord was. Find out and get in there. It's a really cool community. So especially if you're new, you'll get right in there. So, but I am gonna wind down this after hours. It's not gonna be. We're not gonna get into any deep conversations like we did on Sunday. By the way, I will say, uh, before I wrap up, I got a lot of sweet messages on Monday and yesterday, and actually a couple today because I guess people are watching it on Patreon, or whatever. I got a lot of nice messages about the after hours on Sunday, and I'm not talking about when Perry was on. I'm talking when we were just talking, and how we went to some very deep areas, and I was telling about my friend Sean who passed away, and bringing up a lot of stuff that I've not spoken about out loud, and it just kind of just happened. And a lot of people said that not only that they enjoyed that, but they were sharing. Especially a couple of people shared really personal stories with me, like just on like Messenger and Instagram. Like, hey, I was listening to you talk about your friend, and they had an experience that they shared with me, and it made me think about this event that happened to me, and I really appreciate you know, after hours and, everybody talking together and everything. So thanks to everybody that wrote a nice thing. Yeah. I miss Mike too. If we don't, by the way, if you don't hear a Red Bar show by Saturday, things are really bad because he takes the 9/11 thing very seriously because he always kicks off a new season on Red Bar. If you don't see a new Red Bar, especially this week with all this Josh Denny stuff and all this stuff in mainstream news, and he's not there, I think it spells bad news. But that's just my opinion. But anyway, yeah, it was just it was a nice thing to get all those messages and stuff because I felt very emotionally drained. Whatever happened to Dr. Gunk? Dr. Gunk is still around. Dr. Gunk kicked in for the Wario thing. I think Dr. Gunk's just busy with his job. But Dr. Gunk is still around. So is Sergeant Funk. So I heard from Sergeant Funk recently said that he's coming back, but he's been really busy. A lot of people just got busy with the summer, I think too. I think you'll see some faces come back once now that we're in the fall. Tom's reply is THX. Yeah, a lot of people like that thing too. Or Perry. You'll have to listen to After Hours from Sunday, but yeah, Perry received an email from a very somebody who was basically saying that the stream meant a lot to him, and he went through some hard times, and wrote this super long email, like pouring his heart out. And Perry's reply was THX. Paul Morrissey says, "It's true, Tom. You make an After Hours worth $1,000 a month. I know. You know what? It's a premium place. It's a premium place, and that's what we try to make. And thank you, thank you. Yeah. So thanks everybody. We'll let's go into Friday strong. I want to make Friday a great stream. Again, the variable depends on Perry. But let's make that a strong one. And I'll again reiterate. Because we're gonna have 2 weeks off or whatever. I'd like to get Perry a good paycheck for that Wario costume. So if you're at all on the fence and you want to chip into that, because Perry still thinks he's not wearing it, I got news for you, he is. But if you want to chip in for that at all, contact Joey Bags, and he's putting that together. Especially new people that want to chip into the stream, even if it's a couple of bucks or whatever, it adds to the overall pot that he'll get. And I know, I think I mentioned this, but his cousin Mark was asking me why we were taking a break, because he was because his Perry's cousin's basically his accountant, and even though he has an actual real accountant, but I got a little offended by that. I was like, don't worry, we'll get back to it, but we need to take a little breather. That's all. Can Perry go on unemployment for 10 days? No, unfortunately, that's not how it works. But yeah. But welcome all newbies. Welcome all new people. I've heard from a lot of new people. So is Perry, although he'll write you back one word. I'm much more thing. How's Perry's friend Valentino? I haven't heard an update, Cha-Cha. I think he's okay. I think he's okay, but I'll get an update for you. We'll mention that on Friday. Yeah, I just have to have surgery, asshole. Sorry about your debt repayment plan not going as planned. And I shouldn't say anything. Mark's a good guy, mostly. But keep in mind, he's a Caravello. Can Perry worked at Denny's men's room for 10 days. So out of 200 people watching, there's a handful of people now. So before we sign off, can 5 lurkers type anything into the chat? I'm looking for 5 lurkers, 5 people that don't normally comment. I know you're out there because you guys write me at home. Not at home, but you write me on off times of the stream. Hey, I don't want to say anything in the chat, but I enjoy listening to After Hours, or blah, 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 blah. Can 5 lurkers right now, just literally, even if you just mash on your keyboard, just type a number, anything, just anything. Let's play. I want to hear from 5 lurkers. 5 lurkers. 5, somebody who hasn't said anything. Am I getting calf implants? No, I probably should. What's Mole like? Mole's a great guy. Really supremely talented, and great guy overall. I've been lurking for 17 years. Okay. There's one. Two. Thank you. Let's hear from the lurkers. 3. 4. I'm a lurker. What's Mo? I just answered what Mo's like. Thank you for coming in. That's 5. Okay, cool. We heard from 5 lurkers. Yeah, so they're out there. There's a lot of them, and I get emails and stuff from the lurkers. Feel like they got a thing, and they'll say hey, I don't, whatever. It's I'm doing other things. I'm working, and I have this on in the background, or I'm trying to sleep, so they're not gonna think. Lurking a bit now, but came from DSP distractors. That's great, Rookling. Great, thank you, and welcome. Welcome to all the we love our lurkers. Thank you to all the lurkers. It's great. I no pressure no pressure whatsoever to participate or do anything else. Free Grand Slam for all the lurkers. But okay, I'm gonna cut it here, even though it's a weird odd number. But hey, oh, by the way, real quick before I go, is anybody here from Sunday's stream and you tuned into Perry for the first time on Sunday because you saw it restreamed on the anti-DSP stream? Thanks, Faster Blade. Anybody here now discover Perry for the first time on Sunday is what I'm looking for. I work when the stream is on, but I love it so much. Thank you. Thank you. Sun's on fire. Tom, you're the best. Today's stream was awesome. Good. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. I felt like I might have pushed a little too many buttons tonight, but whatever. One of my new favorite things is, I don't think Belushi Sushi's here, but Belushi Sushi has this thing now where Perry has to mime to do something when he goes to the bathroom. Whatever. It's like, hey, mime, swinging on a vine or something like that. And I like to go, okay, yeah, cool. Or the monkey bars. Like, I climb over like imaginary monkey bars. Like, okay, Perry, yeah, I got somebody coming over. We're gonna hammer in some monkey bars. You motherfucker, you are not gonna, And he goes off like, okay, just mime it. And I've done it a couple of times now with like that. And then today it was with the water. I was like, okay, yeah, Perry, we're just going to get some water in there and make like you son of a... It works it's every fucking time now. Eventually it's going to wear off. But that's my new personal favorite thing right now is the bathroom going to the bathroom gags and me setting it up for him. Like when he had a row, like, yeah, we'll get some water in there for you. Hey, TomB, when are we going to get real channel point rewards? When we make partner, hopefully soon. Thanks, Cha-Cha. By the way, I'm feeling fine. You don't have to say feel better. I'm feeling 100%. I feel great. What's Perry's Discord tag? I think it's just at Perry Caravello. Oh yeah, AN 1337. That was the channel, right. I gotta write myself a note to look into the delay on this between the live delay and the chat because this delay seems stronger than it's ever been. Am I getting a scrotum lift? No, I don't need that. I'm good. Maybe eventually, though. Hopscotch to the bathroom. Yeah, we could do that. All right. I got to stop talking. Good night, guys. And we'll see you Friday. We'll see everybody Friday. Get in touch with all the new people, all the lurkers. If you really want a good stream on Friday and Perry to do the Wario stuff and be good about it, please get in touch with Joey Bags. Either here, whisper him on Discord, hit him up, and let's try to get, because we're going away for a while. I'd like to get him a good payday for that. Really would. So let's try to get that done. I appreciate that very much. Good night, Hannah. By the way, congratulations one more time to our newest VIP, Hannah. Snoo Drawings, 1745. Well deserved. It's funny you kind of mentioned it like last. Was it Sunday or last Friday or something like that? That like, hey, and you were already on my, you were already on the list of like who I wanted to do next, yeah, because we had talked about it, and me and Joey like basically talked about it. So, congratulations! It's slightly overdue, but thanks for all your support and loyalty. Loyalty to PCL, which sounds cult-like, but it's not. Good night and Blippi bless. Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna fall asleep to the soothing sounds of some Blippi, Blippi. But good night, guys. We'll see you Friday.